everyone, how we doing? It's your girl Tally back again. Good seeing you all. You know what, guys, I'm really trying to stay, well, I haven't been trying, but I really want to be more consistent with my videos like I used to be, okay? And I believe that's coming. Just got to give me a second to get right back on me, guys. So I'm just leaving church. I'm going home. I don't really have a topic for you all today, but I just want to give you guys the news that I am now a certified life coach. Yay. And I am signed up on mymentor.life. All right, it's my mentor, mymentor.life. You can find me on there, and if you would like to book a session with me, then go ahead and do so. And I'm very excited to speak with you guys. I'm very excited to talk with anybody who just wants to talk, who wants to share their ideas, and whatever you want to share with me, I'm open to it. I'm excited for it, guys. My 3 specialties that I chose were self-love, self-esteem, and singleness, which they just put single. So that's what my specialties, that's what I feel that's my specialties to speak to anybody about. Things involving your self-love, self-esteem, and single life. Obviously, guys, if you know my story, if you follow me on here, you know throughout my life I have dealt with a lot of rejection. That's basically the basis of my story. You know, I was in a place, I feel like since I was a young girl, a young child, that I just felt very rejected by this world, didn't have a lot of friends, I was bullied. And it just happened all through my childhood where I was either bullied or people just said really mean things to me that stuck with me for a while, and it really wreaked havoc on my self-esteem. Self-esteem is something that I would say I didn't even have one, you know, from a child. I put myself in the mind of, you know, I remember being a child, and I put myself in that mindset, and I just realized I didn't have any kind of self-esteem, and this world just took the opportunity to crush it. Whatever was there, it was crushed from a child. And now later on, you know, with the help of God, and really it's really God, y'all. It's really God, and God using different people, places, and things to cultivate me, to bring me up, to kind of like re-raise me. All right, I was talking to God the other day, and I said I feel for the first time I feel fathered, and that was so big, guys. This is like a testimony, but that was just such a big thing to me. Like, if you don't know what it is to have a father and to be fathered, then you don't know. You just don't know. And I did have a father in my life, except that my father, he was emotionally unavailable, and at first he wasn't that consistent there on a daily basis, because him and my mom weren't together. So it was like an in and out kind of thing. And he just didn't take on the role as a full father figure in my life, basically. You know, it wasn't a role that he assumed graciously. Like, I don't feel like he took it as seriously as, you know, a father could, or maybe he thought he did, or he didn't. Either way, it left a fracture in me. As I can't, all I can speak is for me, right? So as a young woman, young child, it left a fracture in me, because studies show the father side is what builds the self-esteem of a child. Fatherhood is what builds that self-esteem in the child, makes them more confident, makes them more decisive, makes them more people that have that reassurance. They have confidence to go out and conquer and do things, and they love themselves. They're self-assured. You know, that's what fatherhood does for a human being, basically. So when you don't have that in your life, you're gonna lack in these areas, right? And you're not gonna know the difference either. That's the biggest thing. So these things could be hurting you. You're lacking in these areas. It could be hurting you, and you don't even really know. But for the first time in life, I was just, and God brings these realizations to me when I'm just, I'm just doing whatever. I'm just living my life, handling my business. And then it just dawns on me in that moment. For the first time, I felt fathered. I felt like I don't know. I never knew what it is to be fathered. But when God allowed me to have that realization, and my mind was opened up to that realization in that moment, and now I know what being fathered feels like. And I felt that for the first time. So I feel whole. I feel complete. I feel like I have a father, a good father, a father that raised me. And that's exactly what God has did. He changed so much over the past few years. Of course, this is things that took a lifetime, and God has always been working behind the scene. He's always been in everything. I know for a fact that God has always been working on my behalf and allowing things, but still protecting me and leading me and guiding me since a little girl. So everything happened for a reason. But at this moment in time, I can finally see that, and I can finally appreciate that, and I can finally see that God has done a work in me. He has done such a great work in me, and I'm finally seeing the result of that work, which is why I'm saying that I feel fathered, because I feel stronger. I feel more confident I feel more confident than ever. I feel protected. I feel provided for. I feel fathered. So I was just saying and thanking God. I think I cried a little bit too, that I felt that. I feel fathered. So guys, I want the same thing for you. I want God to do the same work in your life, because for many of us, I'm not saying this is for all of us, but I know that was the case for me. I couldn't take that next step in my life personally unless I was able to overcome that rejection and that fear and that deep insecurity I was dealing with, which comes from not being fathered properly. All right, the next steps that I wanted to take in my life, the things that I wanted to do, the goals that I wanted to achieve, the things that I wanted to reach for in my life, without feeling security, without feeling acceptance by God, because not by human beings. I'm sure for the rest of my life, situations and things are going to happen to make me feel like I'm not accepted, to make me feel insecure. Things are going to happen. I'm sure it's going to happen. But because I already have that reassurance within God that I've already been accepted, that by God, and that's really all you need. And through the process, you're going to be able to see that. This may not be something that you're able to see now, because I remember a while ago, years ago, I was at the altar and I was having an experience, and then someone was ministering to me, and they told me, God is your friend. And in that moment, I couldn't receive that, because I'm like, dang, God is like my only friend then, because I don't really have friends, and that's how I felt in that moment in time. But then God's gonna lead you to a place where you're like, yeah, God is my friend. And you're going to quickly figure out, maybe not so quickly, but you're going to understand that God is really the only thing that you need. If you're still in a place where you're still hurt, you're not healed yet, you're not completely whole, you may not be able to receive that. You may not be able to see that. But it's when you are made whole, it's when you stay close to your journey, and you stay in tune, and you stay exactly where God needs you to stay, is when you're going to realize that God is really all you need. Because those of us who have been broken by this world and need that healing, that healing starts with us, and it starts with us being made whole and being healed from the inside out. That healing has to be done on the inside out. And a lot of the time, if not all the time, guys, when you need that level of healing from rejection, fear, and insecurity, you do need to go through a season where you are, I don't want to say isolated, but it could be isolation, where it's just you and God. Because how is God? I'm not going to ask this. No, not how is God. God has to get you to the point of understanding who you are, of accepting who you are, of loving who you are, of uprooting things that don't belong, things that you have attached to yourself, things that you have taken on in your years of not knowing who you are. God has to uproot a lot of those things. He has to heal the shame. He has to heal the insecurity. He got to heal. There's so much to heal. You may not know everything that's within you that needs to be healed, but there's so much that needs to be healed. There's so much that needs to be taken out, and there's also a lot that needs to be put in. And I believe those type of things have to be done on a one-on-one basis with you and God. I don't know if God, I don't want to say God can't, because I never say that, because God can do anything he wants to do. But I do believe it's much easier when it's just a one-on-one situation, when you're walking alone, you're on your own journey, you're on your own path, you're not really hanging out with people as much as you used to, if you ever did, or you know what I'm saying, there's no new people being brought into your life at this moment in time. Why? Because God is trying to get you to have a one-on-one with him. He's trying to heal you. He's trying to make you whole, and it's about you. In this season, it's all about you. So there's going to be a focus of energy on you, and that's exactly what you need. A lot of times people are going to confuse you, making you feel like, oh, it can't be all about you, and isolation is bad, and you got to be able to, you have to be able to talk to people and touch the world and do all these things. Let me tell you something. You cannot operate in your purpose and touch other people's lives if you have nothing to give them. If you're broken inside, if you're not whole, if you're not who you need to be to touch your life, if you're not who God called you to be, because if you're still in an unhealed, broken state, if you're still full of insecurity, full of fear, if you still think you're rejected, what are you going to offer people? You're not going to have enough to offer. You're not going to have it to offer people. And I've made that mistake. I've made that mistake of being eager to want to offer people things, to want to speak and just speak and preach, and kind of being pushed to do so too when I didn't have it yet. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because you need to go through those processes. You need to be pressure. You need some type of pressure to help you move and experience things that shape you. You need those kind of experiences that shape you. But at the end of the day, you need to also go through a process where you're being formed, where you're being taught, where you're being prepared, basically, for whatever the mission that God has on your life, for whatever purpose that God has on your life. You need to go through a phase of you being prepared. And in that phase, before you go on through that phase, before you accomplish that, just know that you don't have it yet. You may not. I'm not going to say no, nothing's for sure, but you just don't have it yet to give other people until God has replenished you and what is that? What's the word I'm looking for? God has restored you. He has, like I said, he has taken things away, taken things out, replaced things. He has he healed you, reassured you, reaffirmed you in who you are, got you to finally believe, because that was the biggest thing for me to finally believe that God loved me, and that he wanted good things for me, and that I could trust him, and that he was committed to me, and that he's not mad at me, and he actually loves me, and I have him in my life, and I can really like I was important to him. Like, it took me a long time to really believe that. over my life. That's probably the hardest, that was the hardest thing for me to believe, because someone who has gone through a lot of rejection from people in this world, someone who has a lot of insecurity, it's hard for you to believe that you're that important to someone. It's hard for you to believe that you are special, that that someone actually wants to be committed to you and love you, and someone, which is God, finds you to be worthy. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard to believe when you experience rejection at the hands of so many people. It's because you're stuck feeling worthless. You're stuck feeling like you're not enough. So when you finally go, or when you're going through that journey of God reassuring you, reaffirming you, forming you, making you into who you're supposed to be, before you go on that journey, you're not going to have enough to give. So you're going to need to be in a state of just you and God. Just you and God, so he can work on you. So by the time, and I just had this revelation this morning, because by the time, when you spend so much time alone and God is shaping you and forming you and pouring into you and just making you into who he needs you to be, you're no longer going to go into this world looking for acceptance. When it's time for you to come out of your shell, when it's time for you to give whatever it is that you have to offer to this world, when it's time to live your purpose, you're no longer going into rooms, going to places looking for them to accept you, because you've gotten to a point in your life where you like yourself just the way you are. You're not looking for people to like you anymore. You're not looking for people to give you some validation anymore. And that's where God wants you. That's where God needs you to be in order for you to properly and healthily give to this world whatever he's given you to give in a healthy way. That's where he needs you to be. He needs you to be at the point where you're looking to give, really. You're not looking to get. You're not looking for someone to validate you. You're not looking for people to like you. If you don't fit in somewhere, it's okay with you. You can walk away. You're not going to change yourself to fit into any crowd or any environment, because that's something that, if you've been through what I've been through or something similar, you've had a habit. You've done that once or twice, or you're still doing that, where you're trying to change yourself to fit in with the crowd. No, God's trying to bring you to a place where you're not going to do that anymore, because you already like who you are. You're affirmed in who you are. You appreciate who you are. You like who you are. You love who you are. So instead of seeing people's rejection as like an invitation for you to try to prove yourself and change yourself and try to change to be something that they like, their rejection, you're just going to brush it off, and you're going to continue with your life, and you're just going to go about your way, because you've done so much work. And this is the you that you're going to become when you've done the work and when you are more further along in your journey. So when you do that work, you're going to come to love and appreciate yourself so much. And you're like, whoa, like if someone doesn't like me for who I am, for who God created me to be, then it's just not it. It's just not going to work out. It is what it is. It is what it is, because I've done so much work on myself. God has affirmed me so much, and I trust God right now. Come on, you're going to be in a season where you're like, whoa, I trust God. And I respect and I honor God so much. What everything that God has done in my life. And this is the key that makes you want to stay away from sin as well. That's the key that people haven't really explained to us. But when you really have a personal relationship with God, and it's a strong personal relationship where you're trusting God, and you see that everything that he does for you is out of love. So him asking you to stay away from certain things and stay out of sin, when you come to realize that he's just doing those things out of love, and you develop that deep personal relationship with him, you're no longer going to want to do certain things out of just honor and respect. You're going to begin to say to yourself, you're going to be like, me and God have gone so far on our journey. He's been so committed to me. He's been doing so much good work on me. He's been doing so much great things in my life. Why would I want to even step outside of what he's been doing? Why would I want to dishonor whatever he's doing in my life? He's been doing such great things. I feel great. I feel so loved. Like I just told you guys, I said I feel fathered. So if I feel fathered, I feel loved, I feel covered, I feel blessed, I feel protected, I feel the most secure I've ever felt in my life. Yeah, there's still a little fear, but the fear is no longer holding me back. I feel like I can overcome anything right now. So no matter if I do get a little fear, I still feel like I could overcome it. So my faith is now stronger than my fear, and I'm not insecure. I'm not insecure at all. You know, I feel more secure more than I've ever been. I feel more accepted than I've ever been. You know, even if those things try to sneak in, the amount of faith that I have in God from us being on this journey and doing this work that we have done, the amount is just so strong that it's like it doesn't even compare. It can't even, there's nothing those kind of feelings can do to no longer deter me. So you've been in a place where those feelings used to control your life and stop you from going where you need to go, stop you from opportunities, stop you from being everything that God called you to be. So you come from that to now those feelings have almost no power over you. Let me not even say almost. Those feelings have no power over you. Even if you sense them a little bit, even if they try to come up a little bit, you make sure to tear it right back down, because it's going to come back and test you, of course, but you make sure to send it right back to hell and say, no, these feelings have no power over me. You render it null and void. So when you get to that point, you're no longer going to want to fit in. You're no longer going to want to change yourself for nobody else or do things that are outside of your character for anybody else. Because why? Because you understand who God is, and you have respect for what he's doing in your life. It's all about the respect. This is, you come to this point just by having a relationship with God, a personal, deep personal relationship with God. That's how you arrive at that point. So until you get to that point, don't worry about pouring anything out, really. Do what you can, you know what I'm saying? Because even I did a little evangelism here. You know, I did evangelism. I did a little preach. I did what I could do. I was making videos. I did what I can do because the gift is still in there. You know, the desire, the gift is still in there. So it's going to come out regardless. You know what I'm saying? But there's a point where God want to get you to where you really moving in confidence and power, basically. And that's going to come after you have that journey with God. That's going to come when that's when you're going to really have something to give to the people, guys. So understand that. I hope I'm clear about that. I hope you got something for this. I'm clear about that. So we're trying to get people to that point. We're in a season where we need people to get to that point, right? So if you need me on your journey, go like I said, go to mymentor.life and, you know, find me. You go to the filter, hire a coach, and then you filter, and then you could put my name, Tally. You have my name on here, and I can help you on the journey. God sent many people on my journey to help me. He's had many people speak into my life, friends, family, strangers. There's people who don't even know what they're saying. They're just saying things to me like randomly, and they don't even realize that God is using them to speak into my life. So God has used so many people to speak into my life on my journey to get me to where he needed me to be. And all I want to be is a vessel for God to use to speak into other people's lives as well, guys. So, and I do that through these videos, but if you want that one-on-one coaching, y'all, I got you. Hire your girl, I got you. It's for the low price, $25 an hour. Really low price, guys. I feel like that was the cheapest you could go on there. Actually, that's the cheapest you could go. So that's where I'm at for right now. Brand new coach, guys. Go ahead and sign up. My hours is on there. All right, I'm excited to talk to you guys. I want to talk in depth to you guys. I want to help you with accountability, keeping you on track for your goals, sharing the little bit of wisdom that God has given me to share with you in this world. I'll give it to you guys directly. All right. And I want to hear your situations. I try to help as much as I can, guys. I'm always going to keep it truthful with you guys. I know on this coaching journey, people going to be mad with me because I always have a problem of saying the truth. And people do get mad with me about that. But you know what? I realize a part of your growth journey and your journey is you're going to have to get mad. I got mad. I cried. What? I still cry to this day. The journey doesn't really end. When you're committed to growth, it doesn't end. All right. So I still cry to this day. I still get angry to this day. So if you're not crying and getting angry, I question if you're growing. I question if you're on a journey. I question if you're being challenged enough. So I'm definitely going to challenge you. If you speak to me, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. You guys need to know that if you get on the phone with me, okay? Because I want to see you grow. All right. I want to see you grow. I want to see you trust God even more in your life, for him to do great things in your life, for you never ever in your life to allow any type of fear, rejection, insecurity to run your life. I want to see you step into all God wants you to become. At least I want to see you get on that journey, right? Because your journey may not end here. It may start here. Some people's journey may end here. Some people's journeys may start here. Maybe I might find some of y'all along the middle. It's a really beautiful thing, guys. It's a beautiful thing when you're on your journey, whether I'm just a small part of your journey, whether I'm a big part of your journey, whether I'm at the beginning, the end, the middle of your journey. It's a very beautiful thing, and I'm just happy to be able to be a vessel for God to use me to speak into your life wherever you need it, So I can't wait to talk to you guys. I know I keep saying that, but I'm serious. I can't wait to speak with you all. I can't wait to be a part of your journey and just be whatever you need me to be, or whatever God is calling me to be in your life. I can't wait for it. I'll see you guys really soon. My profile picture is dark for some reason. That's not the way the picture is. It's just when I upload it to the website, that's what it's giving, so I don't know what to do about it. I will fix it soon, but that's me, guys. That's me on there. Go ahead and book. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'll see you guys soon. Love.